What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to Unstoppable, the elite mind and body podcast for men. Today's episode is episode 13, and we're going to be discussing how to actually believe in yourself, right? How to actually believe in yourself. And before we talk about the actual strategies that you can use to shift the belief that you have in yourself in any area, I want to tell you a story about myself, okay? I want to tell you a story about myself. There have been many times in my life where my belief in myself has shifted from positive to negative or negative to positive. And usually it comes after a period of resistance. Okay. Now, what I'd like to do is I'd like to share with you one of the most recent periods of resistance that I met in my life that caused me to shift my own beliefs negatively. And then I want to tell you and be vulnerable with you and share with you how I specifically shifted my beliefs back to positive into the person that you see delivering these talks today. Okay. So 2022, which is not that long ago, right? Mid to end of 2022, I had a rough patch in my business where things weren't going the way that I wanted them to. Clients weren't onboarding the way that I wanted them to. People weren't resonating with my message that I was putting out online. And because of it, I was getting a lot of hate and a lot of backlash from a lot of the things that I was saying on my social media. And during that time, I thought I had everything figured out. I thought I knew exactly what I needed to do. I actually hired a business coach for those few months, and I went all in on a different strategy that had nothing to do with social media. And the strategy was running Facebook ads to a landing page, and from a landing page to a booked phone call, and all these different automations and all this different stuff. And so I shifted my strategy from my business that was working on social media, and I shifted it into a new strategy with Facebook ads and stuff like that. And what happened was my business started to slow down. Things started to slow down. Less clients were coming on board. The clients that I have felt a little bit of a disconnect because my social media content was not resonating properly. I was so obsessed and focused on doing a new strategy that I forgot about my old strategy, and I stopped doing what originally worked in my business. And this is mid to late last year. And so what happened was, as my business was slowing down, my mindset stayed fine, right? Like I was like, I got this, I could do this, I believe in myself, I could do anything I put my mind to. I know what I'm capable of. I'm an IFBB pro. I freaking got this. I can do anything. And over the course of months, as I continued to meet resistance, glass ceiling, lose some clients, only sell one more, lose 3 more clients, only sell one more, lose 3 more clients, only sell one more. As I was losing clients, and as I was kind of in this downward spiral in my business where things were starting to fall apart, because I stopped doing the things that got me to where I was in my business in the first place, because I met resistance for so long, the thoughts in my mind started to change, right? The thoughts that were, I got this, I can do this, I can do anything I put my mind to, I know exactly what I need to do to reach success, I am abundant, I am healthy, I am happy. All of those thoughts started to change. And the thoughts started to change into, holy shit, maybe I can't do this. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel confused. I'm frustrated. How am I supposed to get through the next few months? How am I supposed to provide my family with the life that they've always wanted? How am I supposed to be the person that I'm supposed to be? And all of my thoughts started to turn negative because of the resistance, the constant resistance that I was facing. And so what happened was, and actually right now I want to share with you what a belief is. Okay. So first and foremost, a belief is simply a thought that you keep thinking on repeat, right? Like, and then that thought that you keep thinking on repeat becomes programming. And once you program your mind, it's very hard to unprogram it. It's very hard to program it differently. And so as my business was declining in the back half of 2022, because I was taking all the wrong business actions, as my business was declining, my thoughts started to change to negative, and I continued to think those thoughts for months. And so what eventually started to happen was I would wake up in the morning and I would feel like a failure. I would wake up in the morning and I would feel like I hated myself. I'd feel like a failure. I would feel like I didn't know what I was supposed to do that day. I felt like I was letting everyone down. I felt like I was not living up to my full potential. I just felt like a complete loser, man. Like I felt really, really down. And I usually don't feel very down. But I'm being vulnerable in this podcast for you guys so that you can become aware of what happens with beliefs and how to change them. So a belief is a thought you continue to think, a thought you keep thinking. And so for the back half of 2022, I was thinking negative thoughts over and over and over, and those negative thoughts became beliefs. At the beginning of 2023, I got rid of that business coach and I started shifting focus back into my content creation and focusing more on providing value on social media and building out my personal brand. And things started to get a little bit better, right? Things started to get better. I started to pick up. Clients started to pick up. And over the course of time, up until now, over the last, 3.5, 4 months, things are back at an extremely good spot. But what I want to talk about is that pivotal moment where the resistance that I was facing for so many months finally dissipated and my business started to get a little bit better in January, February. I still had the same negative beliefs. So even though I was starting to take the right business actions again, and even though I was starting to be active on social media again and go live for you guys and give my clients and my people and my followers the things that they needed to actually trust me and like me and want to work with me, even though I was taking the right actions, I still had the wrong beliefs. I still woke up hating myself. I still woke up feeling down and depressed, and I still woke up feeling just like off all the time. And the only way that the way that I was able to shift it from the negative beliefs and those negative beliefs that I kept on thinking was to dismantle them. Okay. And so I want to talk about the ways that you dismantle negative beliefs in yourself, and how to recreate new positive ones. Because I know that there's a lot of people out there that are struggling with depression. There's a lot of people out there struggling with anxiety, with guilt, with shame, with fear of failure, with self-doubt, with limiting beliefs, right? And I'm talking to everybody in this podcast. This is a men's podcast, but if you're a female watching this is going to help you too. This is for anybody. If you're having any sort of negative beliefs in yourself, right? The first and foremost way to start to change the internal dialogue in your head is by taking positive action. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about how beliefs are created in the first place, right? So beliefs are a thought that you keep thinking. Yes. However, delving a little bit deeper into truly what beliefs are thoughts that cause you to take an action, and that action reaffirms and creates a belief. So if you are constantly worried and stressed and scared and anxious and doubting yourself and fearful and have a scarcity mindset and are calling yourself dumb and calling yourself average, then the actions that you take are going to reflect those thoughts. And those actions are either going to be inactions or they're going to be actions that don't move you closer to your goals. They're going to be things like drinking or smoking weed or playing video games and wasting time because you're just trying to escape reality. So those negative thoughts lead you to take negative actions, and those negative actions, because they're not positive, reaffirm the belief that the initial thought is reality. Okay. And so that's what creates this negative feedback cycle of negative thought, negative action, negative belief. It's all a feedback loop. And so when you have a negative feedback loop that's forcing yourself to believe negative things about yourself because you're taking negative actions in your life, because you're thinking negative thoughts, one of the best ways, to get out of that negative feedback rut, that negative feedback loop that you're in, is by taking a positive action, a positive and opposite action. And by positive opposite action, what I mean is doing a workout, reading a book instead of playing a video game, watching a YouTube video that's motivational as opposed to watching YouTube videos about, like whatever, like funny YouTube videos. Another positive action would be taking action in your business, even if things aren't as good as you want them to be right now. Call people, do some follow-ups, do some follow-up calls, send out a newsletter, start a podcast, start sending out ebooks, start marketing differently, start doing social media content, do things, take action that's positive to alleviate that anxiety of the negative thought, action, belief loop. Okay. Now, the other thing that can dismantle negative beliefs is kind of a mantra that you can use. That's actually really, really helped me in that time that I was talking about when I was shifting and I was shifting my actions and my business started to get better. But even though my business was getting better because I had negative feedback cycles built inside of my mind, reinforcing negative beliefs, it was really hard for me to see the light at the end of the tunnel. It was really hard for me to accept success, even though success was coming, because of the negative feedback loop that I had running in my brain. And so one more way to dismantle negative beliefs that's really profound is a mantra. And the mantra is saying, I don't need you right now. Okay. I learned this from Deepak Chopra. But if a negative thought comes up, right? It's like, oh my gosh, I'm so stressed because I have to get this project done in like 24 hours. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I don't even have time to make it good, blah, blah, blah. Whatever your rambling freaking brain, stress brain is going on about, you literally just stop at the moment. You say, I don't need you right now. Right? If you're stressed about money, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills. I don't know how I'm going to pay my rent. I don't know how to pay my mortgage. I barely have enough money to get by, blah, 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 whatever it is. I don't need you right now. Say it out loud. Literally speak to your subconscious mind and tell your subconscious mind that you do not need those messages right now. And it actually truly helps. It helps dismantle and shut that bitch voice up, that negative voice up. Okay. So I don't need you right now. Actions. The other thing is 2 meditation practices that you can use. And I want to make these very, very, very useful for you, because these are 2 meditation practices that have helped me to mitigate dark thoughts and dark energy and release dark thoughts, dark energy, dark emotions, and recreate mindfulness, recreate awareness that allows me to then have positive thoughts and positive emotions. And so the 2 meditation practices that will help you dismantle negative beliefs are, number 1, centering your focusing on the center of your body. So if you've ever done meditation before, typically you close your eyes, you do vagal breathing, which is 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out. You look to calm your heart rate, you close your eyes, you put yourself into a relaxed state. Once you're in a relaxed state, and if you're listening along on the podcast or you're watching this live, it doesn't matter. You can do this with me. I want you to close your eyes right now. I want you to breathe 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out. And I want you to pause for a second after the exhale. So pause for 1 second and then 4 seconds in again. 4 seconds out. Pause for a second and then 4 seconds in again. Focus on vagal breathing with your eyes closed. And what you're going to do is you're going to center your focus to the center of your chest. Okay. So focus all of your attention, everything that's going on in your life, ignore it all. Only focus on the center of your chest. And what you're going to do is you're going to continue to breathe, and you're going to gain control over just focusing on the center of your chest. Yes, a few thoughts may come up. Yes, some things may come up. You may think of ideas or different things you need to get for groceries later or whatever it is. But while focusing on the center of your chest, you're going to allow the negative thought that's plaguing your mind to enter your mind. Okay. So I'll give you, again, the money example. I'm stressed about money. Or another example, I'm stressed because I didn't lose weight this week. Or another example, me and my wife have been fighting, so I'm really stressed about that. Whatever is bothering you, you're going to bring that up into your mind. You're going to think about it. You're going to let it change your emotions. Your heart rate may quicken rapidly because you're nervous, you're stressed, you're anxious. but then think about it for a second and then focus back on center. Okay? Focus on your breathing again, focus on your center, and then again, focus on the negative thought, and then recenter yourself again. Every time you go from thinking about the negative thought back to center, that negative thought's power starts to decrease, because what you're doing is you're sucking its power away, right? Most people don't realize this, but the thoughts that we have, the reason that they feel so powerful in changing our emotions is because we give them power, right? Those thoughts are all that permeates our mind. We can't think about anything else because we're so stressed, we're so anxious, we're so worried. But if we can learn to meditate, focus on the thought, allow it to run its course, allow it to make you feel stressed, allow it to increase your heart rate, but then focus again on the center, it allows us to drain the thought of its negative energy. Okay. So that's the first meditative practice I want you to try. The second meditative practice that I want you to try that will help you dismantle negative beliefs about yourself is to close your eyes, focus on vagal breathing again, 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out, 1 second pause. You're going to imagine from the center of your body, there's a light. Okay. And the light slowly grows through your chest until it engulfs your whole chest. Then you're going to visualize that it goes down your arms and into your fingers. And now your whole upper body is full of this glowing, I like to think of a glowing blue or glowing white light. So you're glowing. Then imagine that the light goes up into your head until it engulfs your head, and the light goes down through your lower body all the way into your feet. Once you feel your whole body glowing, the next step is to focus deeper on your breath, okay? Because that glowing sensation that you're feeling, that you're visualizing, allows you to feel your powerful energy. That's the whole purpose of it. So when you visualize that light engulfing your entire body, that's your power, that's your positivity, that's your chakra, that's your actual positive energy that's inside of your body, elevating your body to a higher level, okay? Then what you do is you focus on your breaths, in 4 seconds, out 4 seconds. And as you're breathing out, I want you to imagine that you're exhaling all of the doubt, all of the worry, all of the anxiety, all of the fears, all of the stresses, everything negative. Every time you breathe in, you're inhaling light, you're inhaling love, you're inhaling positivity, you're inhaling focus, you're inhaling goodness. Okay? Every time you exhale, visualize your body is glowing, and every time you exhale, black, thick smoke is coming out. And that black smoke is all of your stresses, your worries, your anxieties, your doubts. And then anytime you inhale, you're inhaling positivity, good energy, good vibrations, love, abundance, all of the right emotions and all of the right beliefs. Okay? These two meditative practices daily to override and dismantle the negative thoughts and emotions and beliefs that you have about yourself, or fears that you have, or self-limiting beliefs or tendencies. Those two meditative practices, in association with positive actions in the areas that you're trying to change about your life, whether it's health and fitness, relationships, business, as well as any time of day when a negative thought comes up, telling it that you do not need it right now. I use those 4 practices on a daily basis to completely redesign, not even redesign. I use them to completely reshape the belief in myself back to the way that it was before Q2 or to Q3 of 2022. Remember, if you're just jumping into this podcast right now and you didn't hear about this, but halfway through the year last year to 3/4 of the way through it to the end of last year, I went through a really rough point in business in my mindset. And using these processes allowed me to regain that belief in myself. Those are actionable steps that you can use right now. If you got value from this, I really and truly want you to share it with a friend, because these practices, I truly believe, are the reason why I'm here with you right now on this podcast, giving you this value. Because if I would not have figured out how to do this myself, I may have quit my business, honestly. I was in a pretty dark place, and I want to be completely vulnerable and transparent with you guys because I care about you and because I want you to understand that not everybody is perfect. Nobody's perfect. On social media, you see a lot of perfect bodies and perfect faces and perfect smiles. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes people go through things, okay? It's a part of the human condition. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about is some beliefs, okay? And I'm going to read to you right now a list of beliefs that I wrote out, bad beliefs that I remember thinking about myself in that dark time. And I'm also going to read you a few good beliefs that I believe about myself currently. Also, before I read you this list, I want you to know that the bad beliefs that I wrote about myself, I haven't thought about myself this way in months. And I'm not joking. Writing them out was really painful and kind of hard for me. So I want you guys to be here for me while I read these to you. So the bad beliefs that I remember thinking to myself in that dark time to help you was that I hated myself, that I was dumb, that I couldn't do anything right, that everything I touch turns to shit, that no one wants to work with me, and that I'm a bad person, right? Those are a few of the negative beliefs that I had about myself in that negative time of my life. Some of the good thoughts that I think about every single day now and usually think about are that I am a leader worth following, okay? That I can achieve anything that I put my mind to, that I am intelligent and bright and strong-willed, that I love myself despite my flaws and demons, and that I am truly a good man, okay? So guys, another thing that is important as you embark on this journey to shift your beliefs, to shift your belief that you have in yourself, because that's the most important thing. If you don't believe in yourself, you can't achieve anything in life, right? And sometimes it takes somebody either believing in you when you don't believe in yourself or giving you the tools you need to learn how to believe in yourself. And I truly believe from my own personal experience that these tools will help you believe in yourself better, okay? Another thing that you can do is just write out a list like that. Write out the bad beliefs that you've had, write out the good beliefs that you want to believe, and then commit the good ones to memory. Implement those, implement the actions, implement the meditation practices, and the I don't need you right now. And it's going to help you shift your beliefs in real time to that of the positive, highest version of yourself. This has been a little bit of a long podcast, but if you watched it all the way to the end, you're watching live, thank you so much. Hit the hearts. If you're listening to the podcast right now, on Google, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening to this and you got some value, I would really and truly appreciate a review. Wherever you're watching this, it helps the podcast grow. It helps us get our name out there. I appreciate you guys so much, and I'll see you in Monday's episode. Peace out.